Hello traders, welcome to the midweek analysis video. So today I'm just gonna go ahead and give a trade update in regards to the EURUSD and the GBPUSD. Remember, these are the currencies that I've been following, yeah, and I just wanted to give an update. Last week, or just a few days ago, I did mention that we should be expecting to see a bullish momentum all the way to these supply order block. All right, that is what I mentioned. And if you can just go to trading view, let's just start with the GBPUSD, and this is the daily time frame. Yeah, this is the daily time frame. So let me just delete this. So I mentioned that we should be expecting to see that bullish momentum, or that bullish continuation move all the way into this daily supply order block. And the move that I was expecting to see something of the sort, yeah. So we get that continuation all the way to the upside, and then the market reverses from there. All right. So this is where I expect to see those retracement moves kicking into the market. Okay. But I did also mention that it wouldn't be surprising if price actually started that retracement from where it is. And the reason that I gave, if you haven't watched that video, I would suggest you go and watch that video. So I did mention that it wouldn't be surprising if we saw the market actually reversing, or if we start getting some shots from where we are, from where price is. And the reason for that was because of that. Remember, we've already tapped into our daily order block. This is the daily order block. This is the larger order block, okay? That is the larger order block, comprised of these two candles, 1 and 2. But now, this is the refined order block, okay? But from where we are, it wouldn't be surprising to see actually price, you know, actually, it wouldn't be surprising to see some sales kicking into the market. So right now, I'm just watching the price. But in order for us now to get a clear view, in order for us to get a good guidance, we should jump into the 4 hours time frame. Now, this is what we have on the 4 hours. We just delete that. This is what we have on the 4 hours, and also delete that. So this is what we have on the 4 hours. So this should be on the 4 hours. Okay, my apologies. So this is what we have on the 4 hours. What did we mention? We mentioned that or I did say that we have this block, or we have that zone. And one thing that I noted was that the zone wasn't fresh. Okay. And the reason for that is, you can see it broke structure to the downside. It doesn't really matter whether it is internal structure. Doesn't really matter whether if it is a fractal structure. The fact that we had a low, and then you can see that pullback, and then the market, blasts through that. We broke some form of a structure. So that makes this zone a structural zone, and a strong zone at that. So you can see once we did that, the market returns back into the zone to mitigate some orders. Okay, it makes back into the zone to mitigate some orders, and then we kind of range for a bit, and then the market comes back. Remember, once we mitigate a zone, usually what happens is that we leave another zone that is unmitigated, and in this case, we had a zone right there. It may not be visible at the 4 hours, but it may be visible on the 1 hour. But we did leave some form of a non-mitigated zone. All right, so we range for a bit, and then the market comes back into the zone to mitigate it, and then you can see the explosion or the move that you get from there. So looking at those two factors, looking at the fact that we mitigated the zone and then twice, that gives me, that feeling that maybe we may get some moves from that zone, but I wouldn't expect it to hold. If price came in and closed above the zone, or disrespected the zone, I wouldn't be surprised, because I know for a fact that we do have the zone had already been mitigated. So that leaves me with this zone, and I haven't drawn it, but I will. So that leaves me with this zone, which is the extreme zone, the extreme unmitigated zone. All right. So that gives me the confidence that we may actually see price coming all the way to the upside. Even it doesn't necessarily have to be this zone. So if we can just activate the daily, can just activate that to be visible on the hours. Let's just see, because this is the process that I use to eliminate and to refine my zones. So as you can see, this is the refined order block, and this is what we have. And that is why I was saying this is the refined 4 hours. Um, this is the refined 4 hours order block, the unmitigated. So the way I would draw that would be using, I would also cover the high of that daily order block. Okay, let me just do that. And that would be it. That would be the unmitigated 4 hours zone where I'm expecting price to come to. And that is it. Okay. Sorry. So that is it. So that is what we are having. Um, in this zone may be used as an inducement zone. I did mention that, whereby most people are looking at the zone, and they are like, okay, the last time price was here, you saw the explosive move to the downside that we got. So even now, we're expecting something of the sort to also happen. So that may be used as an inducement. That may be used to induce early sellers into the market, even the supply and demand sellers. We have an obvious level, a clear level, where most people are looking at it and they are like, that is a strong, what? That is a strong, what is it called? Resistance level. You can see that, yeah. So most people are looking at the level and they are like, okay, yeah, maybe we may be getting some good sales from that level. You can see the rejection that we are getting, tapped into it once, twice, and also some moves from that level. So it is a good level where people may be selling. And also remember, I did mention that if every condition that I'm looking for in order to enter a trade does align, I may be forced to take that trade. But as at the moment, I'm looking at it kind of 50-50. I'm not yet decided, or the market has not yet given me the clues that we are about to sell. All right. So what I can just see is that we are ranging. So just stay clear of the market, okay? Until we get some good And how would I, the first condition would remember, this is a structure level. So the first condition that would tell me that the market is ready to sell would be a break below that level. Okay, let me just mark it out for you. When we get that break below that level, if the market comes in and breaks below that with a good clearance, all I'm waiting for is a return to the and then sell, something of the sort, yeah. But until we get that, right now I'm just looking at it as just an inducement. This is just an inducement. Okay. So if we move to the now understanding that, understanding where we are on the daily and understanding my analysis or doing the analysis, because most of the analysis I do it on the 4 hours. So understanding those two things, the 1 hour is just my refinement time frame. Okay. So we did have that refined 4 hours. Um, this is the zone actually. This is the zone and this is the 4 hours zone. We should also draw that. But on the 1 hour, this would be the order block. You see these three candles, we have that doji and that candle and that one. So that would be my 1 hour order block. And of course, I would cover the highs. Okay. So it's just essentially what we have on the 4 hours. I wouldn't refine it further on the 1 hour. But look at this. We have a very, very clear zone on the 1 hour. Again, and that is why I advise people to always use the 1 hour, because 1 hour gives us very, very good and smart zones. All right. If something is not clear on the 4 hours, like right now, you can see it is really not that clear, because we are getting the picture that the zone had already been mitigated. But now if you move to the 1 hour, you can see that we have a very, very clean order block that hasn't been touched. All right? That hasn't been touched. We can use that to frame our trade ideas. And that is what I'm looking at. And that is why I'm telling you, I'm not ready to disqualify the zone entirely, because this is the 1 hour, the 4 hours order block. Okay. These, I think from here we have one, two, and okay, these four candles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have that. So that forms the 1 hour. So that is the 4 hours order block, but we have that refined 1 hour order block all the way to the top. So we may see price actually gravitating towards that. And as you can see, we are already inducing sellers into the market. And the reason why I'm saying that, you can see we have some very, very clean highs. Okay. We have some very, very clean highs, almost equal highs. All right. But yeah, so these may be used to induce, and also you can see we are forming that. So that may be used to induce sellers into the market. So people are looking at that, and many people are just you can see it is a zone where we are bouncing off from. First time we bounced, second time we bounced, that time we are bouncing, and you can see the good clearance that we are getting from that. So many people may be looking at that and they are like, okay, once price comes back into the zone again, we may be able to sell. But I'm looking at this zone up above, and these clean highs, they may be acting as inducement for that. So the way I would approach that, something of the sort. Okay, that is what I'm waiting to see, whereby price comes and takes out all those highs, all those people who sold, because most of their stop losses would be just above these highs, and then look to sell the market. So yeah, I wouldn't rule out the sales from this zone. Of course, if we get price coming back all the way to the upside, all the way to these 4 hours zone, I would be happy taking sales. I would be more confident taking the sales from there. But even this one, the setups that is already presenting itself at the moment, yeah, that would be something to see, yeah, whereby we see price coming all the way to the upside, taking out these highs, and then we get that explosive move to the downside. Okay, so that is GBP analysis. In short, so where do we sell the market to? It's very, very simple. I told you, just take the main threshold. This is the lowest point in terms of structure. This is the low of the internal structure, and this assuming this will be the high or the high that is created, just take the 50% range, sell it to that. Normally, price goes to that. So yeah, so that is what we are having on the GBP USD. Let me just delete that. So that is what we are having on GBP USD. And by the way, before we go to the next currency, which is Euro USD, I just want to take a moment and tell you guys that I did open my Telegram channel where I'll be posting some of these ideas. It's not always, that I'll be shooting these videos, but what I can guarantee you is that I'll be publishing these images, these pictures, the trades that I'm looking at, and also giving you the trades ahead of time so that you can trade what I am trading. So yeah, so if you are interested, please do join my free Telegram channel. The link is in the description. And also, guys, if you like what you're seeing, the videos that I'm putting out takes a lot of time, yeah? It takes a lot of time and effort. So if you like what you're seeing, consider subscribing, consider sharing it with your friend, and also leaving a comment. Maybe you'd like to see some other currencies, my breakdown of other currencies. But at the moment, I'm trading these currencies: Euro JPY, GBPUSD, Euro USD, and GBPUSD. So, if you'd like some more, if you like me to cover some more currencies, just leave it in the comment box. I'd be happy to do that. Okay. So yeah, so let's go to Euro USD. I do want to mention that I have placed a trade on Euro USD, and this is where I've placed that trade. That is the level. So starting with the daily, I did mention something of the sort that we should be expecting those sales from that. But I also do want to mention the fact that I had mentioned or I had said that this level may be used as an inducement level, simply because we never got that move to the downside. Or the supply that was in these order blocks never achieved its job, which was to break this daily targeted low. So I was looking at that zone as a kind of a weak zone and kind of an inducement for that zone up above. But right now we are getting the shorts, which is a good thing. Okay, so this should be if you can get into the trade, well and good, which is what I'm anticipating, because we are really getting that momentum to the downside, although not that convincingly, but it's a good thing. It's a good momentum to the downside. Okay, so now moving on to the 4 hours. So, but before we move to the 4 hours, what can we see? Nothing much has changed. We are trading the internal structure, and the internal structure, you can see we changed, or we switched bullish. So all what we are expecting to see is for the market to come to the mean threshold, to the 50% of this range, and then continue pushing to the upside, maybe to this zone, and then we get that explosive move to the downside. But for now we just trade what we see. Okay, we trade what we see, not what we think of. So right now, since price broke structure to the upside, or what we are expecting to see is a move to the downside, and then target this high, because that would be the weak high. So something of the sort. This is the move that I'm looking at. So now moving on to the 4 hours, you can see the 4 hours is quite clean. 4 hours is quite clean, and this is what we have. Just a minute. Let me just get these out of the way. Um, Let me just get that out of the way. So on the 4 hours, we are following the internal structure. The internal structure is quite bullish. This is where it broke structure to the upside, and as you can see, it gave us a change of character. All right, the change of character is the first sign or the first indicator that price is changing in direction, or the pullback has already begun. The pullback that I'm talking about is for the this, what is it called, the internal structure. Okay, so if in case you're wondering, let me just introduce some concepts to you. So I do track three types of structure. Let me just say that I do track um, three types of structure. We do have just imagine this is the swing structure. This is the swing structure. Inside of the swing structure, we have those little movements, okay? And that is the internal structure. So inside of the bigger structure, and the bigger structure would be this one, as you can see, we have this massive, I do measure my swing structure in terms of the scale. As you can see, we do have this price move or price action contained in between this low and this high. So that forms my swing structure. And the other way that I do measure my swing structure would be using the pips. If a movement from the high to the top, exceed a certain number of pips, I do consider that to be a swing structure. So that is the two way. Those are the two ways that I do measure my swing structure. And also we do have the internal structure. The internal structure is what is contained in between the swing structure. So for instance, um, I don't have it right there. But as you can see in between, so for instance, this would be the swing low and the swing high. In between all the price action that is contained between these two levels, that would form my internal structure. Now, inside of the internal structure, we do have a third structure, which is called the fractal structure. Now, like I said in my previous video, and I think I illustrated that. Once we get that breakout structure, once we get a breakout structure of the swing trend, once we get a breakout structure of the swing trend, like right here, you can see we broke structure to the upside. Once we get an eyeballs, which is a trend change of the internal structure, that signifies to me that that the swing pullback has already begun. Now, what tells me that the internal pullback has begun? It would be a change in the fractal structure trend. I know it may be a bit confusing, yeah, but that is how I measure, or that is how I use these structures. And right now, I'm getting that confirmation that the internal trend pullback has begun by simply looking at the fractal structure. And you can see the fractal structure has switched bearish. Um, so all what we are now waiting for is for the market to pull back and then continue that move to the downside. But right now, I was expecting for the market to come all the way to the upside, all the way to some of these levels. And I wasn't paying attention, but you can see we did make it all the way to that level because this is the order block, okay? That is the order block. So we did make it all the way back to that level, and then we are getting that sustained fractal structure. If you can just go to the 1 hour or even the 15 minutes, you will see that that is an established bearish trend that has already begun. So you can see this was the order block that I was looking at on the 4 hours, but it will be much more visible on the 15 minutes. And as you can see, price has already made its way back into that level. So now what now we are having would be these other level right there. So I'm just waiting for is for price to come back into the zone and then continue selling. All right. So if we move to the 15 minutes, um, so this is what we're having. I wasn't in this trade because my entry criteria never played out. I was just waiting, and that is why you can see price made its way back into the level that I was waiting. Obviously, I was waiting to get involved into the market. From I think from this order block right there, but there was some criteria that I was waiting to play out. Unfortunately, it never did. And by the time it did, prices already, played out, or prices had already sold all the way to the downside. So right now, all I'm waiting for is for price now to come back into some level right there, and then to get involved. Of course, that that is part of my entry criteria, or my entry, what is it called? Yeah, let's just call it my entry criteria. There are some things that I look at before I get involved into the market. So yeah, so that is in a nutshell, that is Euro USD. We are looking to sell. We are looking to sell these markets. So yeah, so prepare for some sales. If you can get involved into the market, that would be good. But right now, I just want to caution you that we are coming into that the 4 hours order block. So we may see some bullish momentum to the upside and then continue selling. All right. So yeah, that is it. That is it for this video. I don't want to go to the DXY because I did mention that the DXY is just an opposite of what the Euro USD is doing. So looking at these, looking at what's happening right now, looking at these, I would just say that this is just a manipulation. I don't know. It doesn't look. It's just a manipulation, and you can see it's forming for those who trade retail patterns. It's forming a bear flag, is it? It's forming a bear flag, if I'm not wrong, or whatever you call it, something of the sort, yeah. But it's a flag of some sort, and I do believe that these patterns do work. Okay, let nobody tell you that retail patterns and the head and shoulders, the flags, the peanuts. Is it the peanuts or the pennants? They do work. Every strategy in the market works. That is my belief. Whether you're trading SNC, whether you're trading retail patterns, whether you're trading ICT, every strategy works. You just have to be smart about it. So you can see prices contained in that channel, and of course, what should come next is something of the sort. And I believe we are headed towards these 4 hours, um, this 4 hours supply block. That is my belief, or even these boss level. Once we tap into that, remember this is an established support and resistance. All right. So once we tap into that, we may get some sales all the way to our 4 hours, to our 4 hours demand order block, and then we continue buying this currency to the upside. So yeah, that is it for this video. I do appreciate it. Remember, if you want to see, if you want to for me to give you some, or if you want to see what I'm trading, please do join my free Telegram community and let's keep growing. Otherwise, it's been real. yeah, let's continue milking these markets. Until next time, bye bye.